So as you can tell, I'm a bit of a hoarder. This is all the foam that I've gotten from collaborations for lithium batteries or power stations. I've kept all the foam and I'm going to put it to good use and use it as insulation for my truck camper. Probably use some of it, not all of it, because it's a lot of foam, but I'll put it to good use. Some cheap materials I'll be using, like glue and tape. Other than that, I'm going to make it mostly out of all foam. Free foam. I should say free foam. Here's some of my foam collection. Before I start gluing foam to the walls, I need to do a little bit of cleanup and tear down all the old cardboard that I had taped up. A lot of the old insulation I had put up had fallen off just due to condensation and what have you. I also don't recommend using Velcro to try and hold this stuff up. It worked for a little bit, but it ultimately came down. But that Gorilla Tape held strong. I used a lot of cardboard the first time I insulated the vehicle because it was abundant and free, but I did notice moisture absorbing into it, which made it kind of soft and frail. If left unchecked, it could possibly develop mold. It's not worth trying to find out if it turns to penicillin. Didn't have a budget doing it that time, and honestly it came full circle because I didn't have much budget to do this time either, but this time I at least had the experience from last time and a bunch of free foam. Yeah, some of this flex glue. I'm gonna try this instead of just using all tape. See how that goes. Let it set overnight. Try to use a minimal amount too. When I made my boat, I used Flex Seal and it worked really well, so I thought I'd give this flex glue a try and see how it worked. Shouldn't need much since it's foam. The flex glue did turn out to be a good choice just because it was non-corrosive to the foam. I feel like I say foam a lot in this video. This is probably about a 1/4 inch thick foam. Good. Sticks by itself. One thing I did wrong with the Reflectix last time is there's supposed to be an air gap in between the Reflectix and this, otherwise it reduces the R value. So foam is mostly air. Hopefully this will increase the R value. If you happen to be looking in the background and see that my pillow is looking rough, I've washed it. That's its natural color now. I have 2 other pillows, but old yellow is just the most comfortable pillow I have. Perhaps it's time to put it down. Maybe I should try bleach. I haven't tried that yet. I usually have a pillowcase masking how violently awful it looked. Apparently in this video it shed itself from my pillow. But if I was the only one that noticed and no one was going to say anything about it, then just carry on. Pretend that I didn't say anything about it. I'm going to skip most of the gluing process for the sake of my sanity and also for time itself. You get the idea, it's just glue and stick. Or at least I thought I edited out most of the gluing process, but here I am again gluing. You know, just fine lines, back and forth. Good to note that it didn't really let off any chemical smell or any type of fume, so I wasn't feeling any type of lightheadedness or anything like that being confined in the back of my truck with this stuff. Got a good portion of it finished, but still got a lot to go. Some of the spots needed bracing, a little extra tape to help hold it up, especially in the ruffled areas that are gapped. But since this is soft foam, it did a good job contorting to the little ridges or ruffles, whatever you want to call them. You can see in the background that I have just Gorilla Tape holding up the Reflectix for the windows. I'm going to redo all that later on. I knew at some point I was going to redo everything, so I kind of just guttily taped it up just to have it block the windows for now. If you look carefully, you might notice that the flex glue attaches to my hair and I didn't notice, and allowing it to congeal to my scalp. That was real fun to wash out, but I guess it's kind of fitting because with the Flex Seal, a lot of it got on my pants, and now 10% of my pants is completely waterproof. This one particular piece of foam has taken me like 2 minutes to fully set. Eventually I get some tape and put it up there, but it's getting really hard to commentate on this. You hear my diesel heater in the background. It's been doing great. We just had a snowstorm and it got down to like 16 degrees, wind chill, and yeah, it definitely came in handy, kept me warm. I already edited the video to the length I want. I don't want to cut it down anymore. Oh, there we go. Piece of tape number 1, piece of tape number 2, and now hopefully we are through with this segment. Well, I'm running low on glue. Say I got about 30% left. Okay, this is separated. I'm just gonna add some tape here and seal it and then put some foam here. Since the truck toppers are rounded near the top, my frame didn't seal it completely. I just had it rested against the highest part of the door and it left an air channel up top, so I'm just gonna tape that up and then shove some foam in here. I couldn't really feel any air passing through the ceiling beforehand, but since I raised my cap, it tore up a lot of the tape up here, so it kind of ripped apart. Just gotta redo that and fix that. Gorilla Tape has been my best friend as far as it goes for this truck camper build. I have it on the floor as well. It's been keeping the water out prior to having that there. Anytime it rained, water would come in and get into the little groove of the plastic lining on the truck bed. I'm not quite sure if I would consider this origami, but it's pretty close to it. Before I was using boxes and stuff like that, so that was more in line with origami. The sacred art of using cheap materials to build something. Not to be confused with origami, that's when you make like ducks out of paper through folding. That's also really cool. I actually retract my statement. This is exactly what origami is. I made it up, so therefore it is what it is. The entire foam. I needed to move those to get inside. I think these are going to be too thick, so I'm going to tear this part off. Some good glue or good foam. These are all about the same size. All right, well, these are about the perfect size. If they were a little bit longer, that'd be a little bit better, but the short, just kind of separate them out. Okay, good. It sticks up by itself. Okay, that's good. Some of these bigger pieces did end up needing some tape to help hold it up. If I used a bit more flex glue, it might have held up by itself, but that stuff's like $15 a tube, so I was trying to be cheap about it. How does this fit? Almost perfect. It wasn't as tight as a fit as I would like, but there was the Gorilla Tape on the opposite side that was holding it up. Just need a little piece for there. Alright, that fit perfect. A little bit of a gap here and there, but that's good enough for me. Okay, got a few pieces of tape holding that up for now. I'll do the rest later. Alright, I just added some tape to this one. Hopefully I don't have to actually use any glue, even though it probably work better on this type of situation. Alright, just got some intersecting tape to my foam. I just cut out some little chunks and put them in there. I don't think I'm gonna worry about like the little spots. I'm just gonna put some Reflectix and staple it up here. My main problem is here, which I may rework the door. Okay, cut this piece up.